Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're situated on this great big, beautiful blue globe floating through the void of Yah's creation. It is the 12th of December, 2025, and as always, challenging the legacy media, the mainstream wonks, because they do propagandize, they do manipulate, gaslight, and lie, and guess what? You won't be trusted anymore. All right, welcome to the Friday, the TGIF edition of the WTF Reports. I'm your host, Dave vonKleist. I'm here, WTF, with the facts. And if sometimes that makes you exclaim WTF, well, then so be it. But, boy, we're living in some very interesting times right now, folks. We have to be extremely careful about what we're hearing and what we're seeing, because AI is doing all kinds of shall we say, skullduggery. And I have to be honest with you, I got snookered a couple days ago. I played a clip that I thought was a real clip. I did. I got fooled. It was a clip of Albert Bourla back in 2020 talking about the goals of the hokey pokey thingy dingy. And somebody had manipulated that and said that the goal was to have the world population reduced by 50% by the year 2023. And it was after it was drawn to my attention, I said, oh, my. Okay, so I have to correct that and say, yeah, that was a manipulated clip. So now I'm watching very carefully again. You know, sometimes you let your guard down, and if you're wrong, you got to admit it. It's an opportunity for growth. And I was wrong about that clip, and I just wanted to let you know. So anyway, so I've been going through a whole bunch of stuff. Wow, the vaccine issue, the hokey pokey thingy dingy issue is just right in everybody's face. And I'm going to implore all you folks to do your own research. Yep, do your own research. Despite what the mainstream media were screaming about during the pandemic, and I have a couple of clips here. Remember, here's a little montage of all of the talking heads. You're going to have Rachel Maddow and, Anderson Cooper and, people on CNN, on Fox, and, across the board. Everybody was saying, don't do your own research. Just listen to, trust the science. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, here's what the way they were pushing that.
Who think that they can do their own research.
Don't do any of your own research.
Doing your own research is associated with conspiracy theory circles.
This go-it-alone approach, doing your own research, that can have serious consequences.
You should get prison time for even questioning the vaccine.
Wow. So we all stop saying, I need to do my own research.
That phrase, do your own research, 4 words, 4 little words that are hurting America.
Doing your own research.
Okay, I got to pause that. Did you hear that one clip? You should go to prison for doing your own research. Unbelievable.
Hurts America.
Everybody has a supercomputer in their hand that empowers them to do their own research, and that's the problem.
You must not do your own research.
I need to do my own research.
I don't understand what that means. I'm doing my own research.
You can't do your own research unless you're a scientist. Do your own research.
Maybe you've told yourself you're playing it safe. You just want to wait and see since this is a new vaccine. No.
Roll the up and get the vaccine.
Unvaccinated people spread the virus.
Isn't that interesting? One media wonk after another, telling you not to do your own research, and if you do, you should go to prison? Now, come on. Seriously, you don't have to be a registered, certified, and licensed pyrotechnic expert to have a valid claim of fire. You really don't. There are plenty of people out there with degrees and masters and all kinds of letters after their name that are absolute idiots. And by the same token, there are people out there flipping burgers, pounding nails, and pumping gas that are absolute geniuses. So, yeah, you got to think outside the cage. And I wanted to throw that out there because there were so many people, you remember 5 years ago, telling you over and over and over again to trust the science. And, yeah, go ahead and get that hokey pokey thingy dingy. Yes, sirree, Bob. That was the main message. Was just go along, goose step, do it, okay? Well, now, guess what? I want to take you back about 4 or 5 months, and I want to share with you something that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was talking about in regard to the hepatitis B vaccine, okay? And, I guess he was just a little bit ahead of his time. Here's RFK Jr.
A nurse practitioner who was very famous. She testified before Congress 6 times. She was a public health official in Georgia, an advisor to the Pentagon. She was an advisor to NIH, universally respected, revered. She came to me with a transcript of a secret meeting with, I think, 52 vaccine industry officials from all the regulatory agencies, FDA, CDC, NIH, the European Medical Association, the WHO. They all had a secret meeting in a off-CDC campus because they didn't want it to be subject to Freedom of Information requests. And they had convened this meeting because all these mothers who were complaining to CDC that my kid got poisoned by a vaccine and got autism, they actually did a study, and they used the biggest database in the country called the Vaccine Safety Data Link, which is it's the vaccination records from the top 10 HMOs from millions of clients. They looked at the hepatitis B vaccine given during the first 30 days, and they'd compare that to kids who got it later or didn't get it at all. That vaccine, which is loaded with mercury. And what they found is kids who got it during the first 30 days had an 1,135% greater chance of getting a later autism diagnosis. And they knew right then what was causing the autism epidemic.
Wow.
Autism had gone from 1 in 10,000 in my generation, and it still is in 69-year-old men, to 1 in 34 in my kids' generation. So they knew. And I don't know how it happened, but somebody had transcribed that meeting. And I published them in Rolling Stone magazine and in Salon simultaneously.
Now, isn't that interesting? Now, that was last July. Last July, he's talking about the hepatitis B vaccine and the problems that they're seeing. And, of course, you know, the pharmaceutical companies and the government, everybody says, no, that's not right. No. So here he is last July, screaming about the hepatitis B vaccine, and glorioski, what do you know? What happened 2 days ago? Well, the FDA has issued a black box warning for the hepatitis B vaccine. I mean, that's just one step short of pulling it off the market. They're telling you that this stuff is dangerous. But, of course, if you don't listen, then you don't get the message. So now, all hell is breaking loose. If you have not seen that documentary that was released by Del Bigtree about 3 weeks ago, An Inconvenient Study, you need to see that documentary, because now the truth, the monolith, the dam is not cracking. The dam has broken, and it's a flood of information that's coming out. And I have to tell you, we remember how we were all basically coerced. We were pressured. Everybody was saying, you can't travel and you get unless you get the hokey pokey thingy dingy. You can't do this. You can't get a job. You can't go to school. You can't go grocery shopping. You can't go to the nursing home and visit grandma. Okay? You can't go to the Christmas party. You can't go to church. Oh, but you could go to Walmart. No problem. Yeah, no problem. Did anybody see through this? Well, now I got to tell you, it's all coming out. It's exploding. Nicholas Holscher is on the front line with many. I mean, we're talking thousands, tens of thousands of physicians all over the world are screaming from the rooftop saying, oh, my God, what have we done? Here's Nicholas Holscher talking about the vaccination rates. Listen to this.
We just published a reanalysis of the largest vaccinated versus unvaccinated birth cohort study ever conducted, the Henry Ford study that was presented at the U.S. Senate hearing in September. And we found that all 22 of the chronic disease categories occurred more often in the vaccinated children, 22 of them. Number one, any chronic health condition, 250% more.
I'm going to pause it. Listen to these percentages. I mean, if this doesn't explode the top of your head, and the thing is, we were all buying into it. Well, no, not all of us. But those of us who were not buying into it, like I said, we were being condemned and ridiculed and, you name it. Anyway, listen to these these percentages. And again, I reiterate, there's no joy in I told you so for either party. It's not about that. But it's about folks out there have got to start listening to the so-called tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists, because 9 times out of 10, they're right.
Asthma, 553% more. Atopic disease.
Wait, stop it right there. Asthma, 550% higher rate in the vaccinated over the unvaccinated. Let that sink in.
Disorders, 386% more. Autoimmune disease, 1,120% higher.
My God.
Brain dysfunction was present only in the vaccinated group. Cancer, again, 54% more in the vaccinated group. Diabetes, present only in the vaccinated group. Food allergies, 128% higher. Mental health disorders, 696% higher. Neurodevelopmental disorders, 1,200%
My God.
higher in the vaccinated group. ADHD, only in the vaccinated. Autism itself was 180% occurring more often in the vaccinated group. Developmental delay, 412% more. Learning disabilities, intellectual disabilities, only in the vaccinated group. Speech disorders, 800% more often. Motor disabilities, 810% more. Tics, only in the vaccinated. Neurological disorders, 26% more in the vaccinated. And seizure disorders, 216% more. The childhood vaccination schedule is the dominant major driver of childhood chronic disease. It is simply undeniable.
There you go. So, all of you folks out there with kids, I mean, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you to listen and to think and to do your own research, despite the fact that all the mainstream wonks were screaming and condemning you for doing so. So anyway, that was Nick Hulser talking about the vaccination rates, but he's also talking about the mRNA technology. And here's, and I tell you, he's right on the front lines, and there's so many other physicians. Oh, and let me remind you that Reinhold Fulmich is still in prison in Austria for heading up the International Criminal Court, bringing up charges of crimes against humanity against all these people who were involved with the manufacture, the development, and the distribution of this hokey-pokey thingy-dingy that we all, unfortunately, were threatened with 5 years ago. Okay, here's Nick Hulser on the mRNA technology.
This is now the first CDC director coming out to call for market removal of the shots. But the thing is he joins the list that we've documented in one of our peer-reviewed papers. He joins a list of over 81,000 concerned scientists, physicians, and concerned citizens. He joins the list of over 240 U.S. elected officials and European and Australian elected officials in calling for the market removal of these shots. So now the list is so big, I think we're going to reach a point soon where they will be taken off. The evidence is simply too undeniable.
So did you hear that? 81,000 physicians, hundreds and hundreds of...
This is now the first...
Hundreds and hundreds of political figures. They're all getting it. And they're all screaming, hey, look, we have to stop this madness. It's insanity. As a matter of fact, DrRyanCole was speaking at the European Union, and he called this out. And listen to this. Again, this is DrRyanCole speaking at the EU. Check this out.
The reason you haven't heard most of the things that you've heard today is because the media is in collusion with whatever the powers that be in preventing you from getting that information. All right, next question then. Let's talk about the monster in the room, spike protein and cancer mechanism potentials. How many people in this room, after the rollout of the injections, have a friend, a colleague, a patient who had an unexpected cancer, a very aggressive cancer? Please, show of hands. Wow. Let the record show, for those who can't see the room, that that's more than half of the room.
Wow.
The cancer rates are off the charts and growing, and it's really unfortunate. The insurance data sets out of Germany show a marked increase in unexpected cancers as well. colleague, Dr. DeGlige, oncologist in the UK, met with him a couple months ago. He's seeing astounding numbers of very aggressive cancers in his population. Now, this is somebody who's been doing oncology for 40 years. So when you see something, you say something. He has spoken out. It's time to stop these shots. One cannot find that for which they do not look. The cells don't lie. As you saw from my colleagues, the spike protein is present throughout all tissues of the body. That is not meant to be. Human cells are meant to make human proteins, not to make toxins. So to inject a gene-based product into the body and make your cells the factory for a toxin is psychologically insane.
Did you hear that? He just he said the silent part out loud. This is psychologically insane that we would be injecting the entire world population with this mRNA technology. Now that they know what it is, and let me remind you, that was the physician Ernst Burkhardt, I believe his name was, Burkhardt. Unfortunately, he's passed since then, but the late Dr. Burkhardt did a study on vaccinated males and found that the spike proteins had replaced the sperm. Let that settle in. All right, so what does that say about the fertility of the males who got the hokey-pokey thingy-dingy? And, of course, there's Dr. Naomi Wolf, and she did a similar study on the effect of the hokey-pokey thingy-dingy on females. And, well, what do you know, glorioski? The spike proteins have basically destroyed the ovaries. They've infected the ovaries and the eggs, and it's just a mess. So we have to go back. And how many years ago did we hear about the Georgia Guidestones and the number one tenet, the global agenda, the number one goal is to reduce the world population, to maintain humanity, and I'm quoting now, maintain humanity at no more than 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So, current population, 8 billion, that means 7.5 billion people got to go. Raise your hand if you want to volunteer for that. So this is what we're up against. We are up against psychopathic madmen, like you just heard Dr. Cole say. This is psychologically insane. And these are the people who are making policy for the world. This is what, the EU, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I've got that audio clip. As a matter of fact, I should go look for it. So I played it a couple days ago. Ursula, what's her name now? It's on the tip of my tongue here. Ursula, what's her name? Anyway, she heads up the EU, and she said that we have to push these vaccines. Everybody needs to get vaccinated, and now we know better. As a matter of fact, there was a video that was made, and I want to remind you, all these companies that make the vaccines. Okay, you got Pfizer, you got Johnson & Johnson, you got Moderna, the whole list of the big pharma companies. Just let's not forget which group, or what do they all have in common? What do they all associate themselves with? I'll let you come up with that answer. Okay, I think we all know. As a matter of fact, there's a clip here that was a video that was made by a whole bunch of rabbis during the hokey pokey thingy dingy pandemic, and they were all going along with the goose-stepping along with the agenda, shall we say?
My dear and beloved Chevra, the Ribbon Shalom has given us a gift, a very precious gift. It's called the COVID-19 vaccines.
Vaccines have allowed us to reopen
and to enjoy Simcha safely again.
With all of the data, we clearly see just how safe and effective these vaccines are for all populations,
including the elderly, those with underlying health conditions, and pregnant and nursing women.
Due to so many people being vaccinated, the number of hospitalizations and deaths decreased greatly since the vaccines were released.
But the numbers of COVID-19 cases are spiking again. And in New York, almost all deaths due to COVID-19 are in unvaccinated individuals.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Unvaccinated people die.
They die.
You haven't lived through enough. We should live in the Europe. It's not together, but shingadog. For we in the community have to realize that if 99% of doctors say take the shot, we take the shot. What's the shile over here? Are we playing games?
The Torah says, "V'rapa yirapei." Mikam shenitein reshus l'roife l'rapos. When it pertains to matters of health, you have to follow the doctors.
Let's all feel comfortable yet again. Davening in shul, going back to yeshiva, Spartak and Asiyah, Spartim and Roshas.
Please take achrayus for your neighbor's health as well as your own. Nafshei is in the plural. When we take the vaccine, we're helping everybody, and that's a double mitzvah.
There is, unfortunately, a lot of misinformation circulating.
But it's important to know the truth.
After over a year of research, clinical trials, and the actual vaccines in use,
we see no evidence of any kind and negative outcomes for fertility and no evidence of increased risk to women with childbearing age.
We are a cohesive community.
And the very best way to ensure our health and safety is with one united, harmonious voice.
One voice.
One voice.
One voice. The Gedolei Yisrael have urged us all to take the vaccine, and we need to follow in their footsteps.
Cases are spiking in every state.
Let's not add the 5 towns in New York City, Khalilah, to that list.
We want to celebrate the Yom Tovim responsibly.
Get vaccinated now.
Get vaccinated now.
Get vaccinated now.
Right to me.
Why are you still waiting? Please get vaccinated today. Let's do it as soon as we can.
Get vaccinated now.
Please get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated. Get it done. That's what the doctors and Rabbanim want us to do. Let's go.
Be smart. Be responsible. Get vaccinated.
One after another, after another, after another. Roll up your sleeve and get the hokey pokey thingy dingy. And now we know that this was so dark. It was so evil. I mean, you can't disagree with it now. It's just the evidence is overwhelming. Now we are, here we are 5 years after the whole thing started, and now in retrospect we're going, oh my God. And I got to tell you, now that people are finding out about this mRNA technology and how deadly it is, and about the spike proteins and the graphene oxide and all that other stuff, well, the powers that be, they want us to have this garbage, these spike proteins, the mRNA. They're going to do it one way or another. So if you won't roll up your sleeve, well, how about putting it in your food? Yeah, that's it. Put it in your lettuce and your tomato. If that doesn't work, well, then we'll go after all the kitties and doggies. Yeah, your pets. Because now they're putting the mRNA technology in the shots that they're giving your pets. When you take them to the veterinarian and they get their shots, guess what?
What I'm most concerned about is that now they're rolling out the self-amplifying mRNA injections for the dogs and cats. They already have rolled it out last year. It's for flu, rabies, and feline leukemia virus. And so these are actively being injected into dogs. The vets, they won't even tell you that these are self-amplifying. It's called Novavax NXT, developed by Merck. So if you go to the vet, make sure they're not getting Novavax NXT. They will become self-amplifying RNA particle factories, and this can probably shed onto the human owners, and it can recombine with wild viruses and cause chimeric mutant viruses that we do not know what those can do. So be careful. It's a very serious situation.
Yes, it is a very serious situation. So if they're injecting your kitty or your doggy with this stuff, then you need to stop and think about this. So, make sure you ask your veterinarian when you bring your dog in or your cat in. Make sure that that stuff is not in the vaccination that they're giving your pet. So anyway, all right, going to do a little transition here.
Get More Tank will save you money every month on gas. Get More Tank is a tablet with active ingredients that adds big mileage to every tank. Made in America, the Get More Tank formula is used by trucking companies and heavy industry. Now the Get More Tank formula is available to you. Get More Tank works in any gas or diesel engine, cleans your engine, lowers emissions, and you'll feel improved engine performance every time you step on the gas. Get More Tank works for cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, four-wheelers, mowers, and blowers. Hey, if you got an engine, then Get More Tank. Contractors, electricians, plumbers, painters, and lawn service companies, Get More Tank will save you money and extend the life of your engines. If you're an owner-operator running your big rig around the town or across the country, Get More Tank will save you money too. If you're a farmer, all of your equipment can use Get More Tank. A 5-pack on sale at GetMoreTank.com for just $22.22 plus shipping. Use the promo code REDPILL101 and get 10% off. Save your money, save your engine, save the earth at GetMoreTank.com. Get More Tank is EPA registered, doesn't void warranties, results vary.
And you can get more tank by visiting our website, TheWTFReports.com. Click on the sponsors button, and it'll take you down to an area where you can order and get your own Get More Tank. In each package, there's 5 tablets. That's about, with the discount, it's $20. So you put 1 tablet in per tank of gas. Well, the first time you try it, you got to put 2 in. But from that point on, you use 1 tablet per tank of gas. And I'm telling you, you will notice right off the bat that you have more power. When you hit the accelerator, your car jumps. And after a tank or two, that's when you start to see the real benefit, the increase of your mileage. Anywhere between 15 and 20% better mileage, depending upon your make, model, year of vehicle and what your driving habits are. So this is a no-brainer, folks. Your car will run more efficiently. It cleans the engine. You got more power, and you save money at the gas tank. So go to our website, TheWTFReports.com. Click on the sponsors page and get more tank. Okay, also in the news right now, Ann Vandersteel was talking about Tina Peters in the state of Colorado. Now, she was the clerk who was in charge of overseeing the election in 2020, and it was her job to maintain integrity. Well, guess what? She did her job, and they threw her in jail. So President Trump has just issued a full pardon for Tina Peters, but the governor will not honor it. Listen to Ann Vandersteel.
Hey, everybody. Tina Peters was just granted a full pardon from President Trump moments ago. We need you to call the governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, and demand that he release her. She is a federal witness to a federal election crime in Mesa County, Colorado in 2020. She has the only images of the Dominion machines before and after the elections. So please, I need you all to stop whatever you're doing. Get on social media, tag Jared Polis, get on your phones and start calling the Vista prison in Mesa in Colorado, as well as Governor Jared Polis's office. It's imperative that you do this. She has been in there for over a year, and the woman is very, very, very sick. We need to get her out immediately and get her urgent medical care. Thank you so much for your prayers, your support for Tina. She's a friend of mine and a friend of many, and she's an honest-to-God angel. And today we had intercessors I was with General Flynn earlier. We were praying for Tina Peters, and it looks like our prayers have been answered. God bless Tina Peters, and God bless America.
All right, and thank you, Ann Vandersteel. And I'm trying to see here. I thought I had the phone number for the governor here, but I don't. I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, well, you can get that. Absolutely. So do a search for the governor. Oh gosh, I thought I had it here. What the heck did I do with it? Oh well. Yeah. So hopefully we can get Tina Peters out of the slammer and get her the help that she needs, because her health is definitely failing her. All right. And in other news, let's see. Let me see. Oh yeah, there's a push right now. As we've been all talking about, everybody's noticing now AIPAC has got a stranglehold on our Congress and on the Senate and on most of our elected officials. And God forbid you should point that out. No, the Blue Hats have definitely been paying off our elected officials, and it's no longer the United States is now the United States of Israel. I mean, a lot of people are saying that. And this is not to be anti-Semitic. No, we're not even go down that road. All right? But the bottom line here is that there is a push right now to have a push for America first. Yeah, what a concept. What a concept. Maybe we should take care of our own people and our own country, and instead of sending billions and billions of dollars over there. And by the way, let me remind you that the current NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, packed in there are still billions of dollars going overseas. And did you know that every month the United States is sending the Taliban between $40 and $45 million every month? Yeah, we're sending that to the Taliban. Well, a lot of people have had it. It's time for America first.
Nick Fuentes has announced the 2026 relaunch of the America First Foundation as a structured, disciplined political force dedicated to reclaiming sovereignty from foreign lobbies and career politicians.
This movement is bigger than just me. In order to take all of this to the next level, we have to start to build an institution.
And the reaction has been explosive. The media is panicking, politicians are scrambling. Commentators who once controlled the conversation are suddenly fighting for relevance. Something has shifted in the conservative world, and it's bigger than one interview, one feud, or one election cycle. Because for the first time in years, the establishment is confronting a movement that it cannot intimidate and cannot control.
Basically do what AIPAC does for Israel. We want to do that for America.
Yeah.
We want to be the American lobby.
A movement that refuses to bow to donor pressure or foreign influence. A movement built by a generation that is tired of being told who to support, what to say, and how to think.
Every single congressman has an AIPAC guy. Wake up. Every single one. Wake the fuck up, bro.
The America First Foundation is returning at the exact moment that the political class hoped it would be buried. This moment has been building for years. Americans watched leaders send billions overseas while their own communities fell apart. They watched members of Congress take money from foreign lobbies and then promise unconditional support to governments that do not answer to American voters. They watched the media smear anybody who questioned this arrangement. And after years of being told to sit down and stay quiet, the public has finally reached a breaking point. And now the consequences are becoming visible. A lobby that once controlled entire primaries is starting to lose its influence that it treated as permanent. And at the same time, the America First movement is gaining momentum because it speaks to something that the establishment ignored. People want leaders who put this country first. They want accountability, they want sovereignty, and they are no longer willing to pretend that foreign interests deserve more loyalty than the citizens who live here.
Because the only reason Israel is alive today is because of America's money. Period.
A new generation is forming its own identity right now. A generation willing to question the sacred cows of the old God. A generation refusing to accept endless foreign entanglements as the cost of doing business. So we need to talk about what this moment really means.
So I like the concept of America First. I really do. I think that's a great idea. I don't see any negative thing about that at all. Yeah, we need to have our allies around the world and all that, but we got to take care of, you got to take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else. So the only problem that I'm having right now is I have my doubts about Nick Fuentes. Now, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but some video footage has surfaced from the January 6th demonstration, and I will not call it an insurrection or a riot or anything like that, but there's some video footage has surfaced of Nick Fuentes with a bullhorn encouraging people to get in there, go into the Capitol. Now, wait a second. How come the FBI hasn't grabbed him? They grabbed everybody else. I mean, there are still people that are in prison, So how come they didn't grab him? So I got a little question about Nick Fuentes, okay? And I'm also questioning him because he's standing, he says, oh, yeah, ain't no doubt about it. Tyler Robinson killed Charlie. Yeah, Tyler Robinson did it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Anybody who has any functional gray matter strategically placed between their ears can see that the official story is got more holes in it than Swiss cheese. As a matter of fact, there was a sniper, a professional former military sniper on speaking with Clayton Morris in regard to what he was thinking, what happened with Charlie. And I got to tell you, his testimony is, well, it's what everybody else who's ever fired a 30-06 already knows. Here's Bob O'Neill talking with Clayton Morris.
From the outset, you smelled a rat. You didn't buy the official narrative that we were being spun. I think a lot of Americans think that we were being lied to about what happened that day. Mm-hmm. What stands out to you as a major problem with this assassination and the official narrative that we're being told?
Well, initially, I was sent word that Charlie Kirk got shot and he was in critical condition. And with the video, the moment I saw it was, wow, that's an exit wound coming out of his neck. And the way his shirt moved, there was an impact nearby. I've killed a lot of people closer than that cameraman. And I've seen what happens. I've seen entry wounds and exit wounds. Immediately, it didn't make sense. And then we got a different shooter. The FBI announces they got him. Then the guy running on the roof, the 30-06, how this dude, he took it apart, he put it together, he got a scope on there, took a cold bore shot, took it apart, jumped down the roof, put it together, wrapped it up. All of the texts he's sending that don't sound like any 22-year-old I know. And that's enough. And I'm on the side of the simplest thing is usually what happened. But the moment you ask a question, you get torn down. And it's like, even with, if I said it doesn't make sense, they're like, why are you saying Israel did it? I'm like, I didn't say that. I'm just saying it doesn't look good. And the second you bring it up, but is it true that as soon as he was down, his security team took his lapel mic off, gave it to someone else that ran off? What did they do with the SIM card? Did someone take that camera that was right behind him down? Why did they contaminate a crime scene immediately? Is it paved over? Did they rebuild it? Is all of that true? I don't know. But the second you ask, I'm anti-Semitic, and I'm like, I didn't even bring up Israel. Why are you bringing up Israel? Is someone getting paid to defend them for something I'm not even talking about? And all of a sudden I'm a conspiracy theorist. It's like, no, I've killed a bunch of people for the country. A great American was killed in front of everyone in America. He was for this country. I would like to know why, and stop bullshitting me.
And we were told that he was like Superman. His body stopped a 30-06 bullet. His body was like Superman, made of like some sort of a superhuman metal or something like that. What do you believe about that? If a 30-06 round hit Charlie Kirk, what would have happened?
Well, it's going to blow his head off, probably. It's going to be a big mess, too, but then you're going to find remnants of the bullet. I don't think they've even found it yet. Why was the chair and the desk moved when you can get a forensic expert in there and find out exactly where the shot was fired from? So I'm just asking these questions. If they can be refuted, fine. And if you tell me the answer, great. I'll stop asking that. But we're not getting any answers except this is what happened. Shut up. Be a good worker.
Shut up. You're an anti-Semite. And when the trial happens, you'll look like a fool.
That's a tactic of the left, is when you call them out on something, they call you a name. Now the right is doing that to us.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, and we all know what happens when you start asking questions, you know? Well, isn't that funny? Isn't that what Charlie Kirk was suggesting? I mean, if he was around to investigate his own murder, don't you think he'd be asking questions? Here's Charlie.
I learned during COVID. I learned when they told us that it came from a bat in the Himalayas. I learned when they told us the vaccine was safe and effective. I learned when they told us that ivermectin was horse paste, that you better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free.
Yes, absolutely. Here, here. I have to agree 100%, 100,000 billion %. And, you know, like I said, he just said you have to ask questions. And so what is TPUSA doing whenever you ask a question? Like you just heard from Bob O'Neill, as soon as you ask a question, you're an anti-Semite. Well, I didn't say anything about that. You see how it is? It's sort of like the lady doth protest too much. Anyway, I've got a couple of other things that I wanted to get to. Look at that. The hour is just shooting by. Let me see. Where is it? This is Bob Moran. I'm trying to remember what he was talking about. Here it is.
The mass injecting of more than half the world's population with that drug is the worst thing that has ever happened in the history of our species. And it has happened now. Yeah. And I know that's very, very difficult for a lot of people to accept, particularly people who've had it. But we are now living in the aftermath of that.
Listen to this.
The repercussions are going to go on, I'm afraid, for a very long time. It's not like, lots of people died, and now they've finished dying, and obviously we want justice. People will keep dying keep being extremely ill, probably be infertile, affected in all kinds of different ways for years and years, I'm afraid. And people have to kind of accept that thing took place. And anybody who was involved at any kind of high level with making that happen is not your friend.
No kidding. And again, I draw attention to those who are the manufacturers of these hokey-pokey thingy-dingies, whether it be Pfizer or Moderna or Johnson & Johnson or AstraZeneca. What do they all have in common? Who do they all relate to? Okay, I'll let you put those puzzle pieces together. All right? And meanwhile, I'm looking here what was released. Remember this, the Pfizer documents that they wanted to stash away for 75 years? And Dr. Naomi Wolf was able to get those when they said, no, you can't stash that medical stuff. It has to be released. Well, they put it out there, and guess what? There are 60 pages of paralysis, 348 pages of seizures. Matter of fact, there was a testimony one guy gave. His wife was just healthy as she could be, and one day after receiving the hokey-pokey thingy-dingy, she started having seizures. And so what happened? You know, she had to be let go from her job. The job, by the way, was requiring her to get jabbed. So once she got jabbed and started having seizures, well, we're just going to have to let you go because you're not fit for the job. So no question about, oh, well, we're sorry we forced you to get that. No. So not only is her health destroyed now and having seizures, now she's been fired. She can't work. Isn't that nice? So let me see. We got 126 pages of reported blindness, 368 pages of thrombosis, all coming from the CV-19 poke. Oh, censorship kills. There's 1,000 pages, thousands of pages. Just insane. Over and over and over again. So, okay, like I said, so what do we do about this? Now, there are those out there that are screaming, well, for instance, in regard to the Charlie Kirk thing, if you don't go along with the official story, the narrative that it was Tyler Robinson, the extreme leftist with the gay boyfriend who was going to get transitioned, it's those crazy lefties. That's what they want. They want you to condemn the left. So you've got to fight the left, and the left has got to fight the right, and the right left, and the right left, left, right, right, left, conservative, liberal, liberal, conservative, and everybody's fighting against each other horizontally. That's what a civil war is. And I said many, many, many times, and you regular listeners know it, that it's not about a horizontal conflict. We should have it from the bottom to the top. And that's, you know what? I must have been onto something, because that's exactly what Eric Warsaw said just recently. Here's Eric Warsaw.
I think we might be headed towards a revolution. And really, if they feared the public, they probably wouldn't have done this shit in the first place, man.
Right.
And I'm using the word revolution instead of civil war, because civil war is the country divides in half and half the people fight half the people. It's horizontal, and I want to avoid civil war, because whoever wins, the Zios are on top. They're going to control both sides. But if it's a revolutionary war, it's not horizontal, it's vertical. It's the people versus the government. And so we want a revolutionary war, not a civil war. But is a revolutionary war coming? Something extreme is going to come, because these people are not peacefully going to give up their power, their money, their positions. That's the sad truth. And now here's another thing is, if the current course that we're headed on, peaceful protesting, and if it continues that way, they maintain power. Like the status quo favors them. Whatever happens has to be able to remove them from power. And so they know that. They know it might slowly just go away if we keep on ignoring it. Time is a little bit on their side unless something big happens. But right now, unless we start stepping up our game, they're going to stay in power. They're going to maintain power.
That's right. That's right. And this, dear campers, is why they are in a mad dash to get the CBDC cashless society in place. Because once they've established that, and once enough of the sheeple around the world sign on to this because it's so convenient. Oh, imagine, never have to have ID on you. Everything is going to be on not even a chip anymore. They've got the nanotechnology, So they want everybody to jump on board with this cashless society. Yeah, digital currency. Yeah, that's the whole thing. And like I said, it's a mad dash because once that's put in place, once enough people sign up for this, it's done. You're a slave forever. Forever. There is no way out. None. So this is why we have to fight this. We absolutely have to fight this. And I remember, I tried to warn people about this 20 years ago. Let me see if I can cue this up here. I'm going to, okay, that's not what I want. I wanted, let me see here. Let me see if this is it. Oh, I hit the wrong, I hate when I do that. Here we go. Oh, that's the wrong doggone song. What happened here? Okay, no, this is, there we go. I'm doing this on the fly. I don't have a producer to do this for me, folks. So just cut me some slack on this because, like I said, I was trying to warn people many, many years ago. And anyway, here's just a piece of it.
Control and greed, common sense we should apply. Ask ourselves the question why integrity just falls away and we don't have a word to say. By and for the people it's supposed to be, but non-involvement slowly leads to tyranny. Yeah. Are we freer in America today than we were 200 years ago?
Okay, here's the verse I was going to refer to. Here it is.
Half a century ago, a Nazi bid for world control, identifying every Jew by numbers that they would tattoo. Today we have technology and we've convinced them all to be submissive to their leadership and all receive a biochip.
Well, now we know it's not necessarily a biochip. It's the nanotechnology, graphene oxide, and all that other stuff that's going to be reacting with the 5G towers. Yeah.
Are we freer in America today than we were a couple years ago?
What do you think? Are we? Are we freer?
Are we freer in America today than we were just 40 years ago?
A lot happens in 4 decades.
Are we freer in America today than we were 200 years ago?
Absolutely not.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Everybody, everywhere, sit back, relax, and get ready for the glorious dawning of a new world order. There's nothing that you have to do. We have everything under control. Just watch your TV, and we'll tell you what you need to know. There's not much, I promise. Pretty soon you'll have your very own biochip. Imagine, no more tax forms, no more medical records, no more bank books or paychecks, no more cares or worries. We've done it all just for you. With years of testing and research, we finally have all the answers, and we know what's best for all.
Oh, sure you do.
Simply follow directions given to you by your friendly local officials. They can guide you through the transition stage, and after you've complied with the basic introduction...
Comply, that's the key word. Anyway, yeah, that was 20 years ago, folks. Yep. But so now we know it's not going to be the little piece of rice biochip that they're going to do that. No, they've got this all figured out now. They don't even have to make anything. That they got it in the vaccine, and once the vaccine goes in there, you got the graphene oxide, the mRNA technology, and the lipid particles, and they begin self-assembling. Yeah, so many doctors now and morticians around the country, when they go to do an autopsy or when they go to process someone who has passed, they find out that they have these enormous, long, elastic, what do you call them? Like rubber bands in their veins. Blood clots. Died suddenly is a documentary that you definitely want to see. So, anyway, there was one more thing I was going to get to, and my brain is just, oh yeah, speaking of my brain, that's what it was. Yeah, that's my own clue. Well, I'm sure you've heard about the pastors and ministers are being bused, or shall I say flown, over to Israel and becoming ambassadors for Israel. Now, there's a lot of people that are not happy about that. And, is it conditioning? Is it manipulation? Is it gaslighting? Is it, dare I say, brainwashing? I don't know. But anyway, here's something to think about.
We're in the fight of our lives, and this is how we will fight back. First, we must use social media because that's what young people follow. And I must tell them that you must tell them the truth.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to put that clip on hold because we have a caller that wants to jump in here. So we've only got about 3 minutes. So, okay, welcome aboard. Who we got there? Who's that? Is that Carolyn?
Hey, I thought we had 5 minutes. I'm doing better. Listen, your song, for one thing, those lyrics, I mean, my jaw drops open. My friend's dog just got shot. And I'm petting this dog. So when you're talking about shedding, this is how invasive it is, and then the food, etc. So your song is amazing. I mean, I can't believe you wrote it that long ago. And you're like, oh, so convenient. And from your friendly healthcare advisor,
right.
I'm having trouble literally wrapping my head around this. Like, it's unfathomable, and it seems like it's unraveling all at once. My concern is that they will pounce and do something because it's unraveling. And so I just wanted to, put that out there that I just don't know what to say. I mean, I'm just kind of piping in as to like, oh my God, thank you for reporting, and what the heck are we going to do? So.
Yeah,
that's all I have right now.
Well, you're right. They're absolutely desperate because they have lost control of the narrative. And a lot of people now, and a lot of people are noticing, and I use that word specifically, and I think those who are in the know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is why there's an enormous push right now to take over TikTok, to take over X, to take over all the social media, so that there are certain individuals or certain groups of people that are promoted and others who are basically deep sixed. And I think we all know. Yeah. So
the
go ahead.
CBDCs, like you said, once they get the digital, it starts with your ID. Everybody, all the surrounding countries are doing it. Well, if they haven't already, Canada now coming in. So, I should have. Great reporting. I'm just. It's devastating. I mean, it's like I don't know how to fight back. I mean, except for we're talking about it. I just don't feel that's enough.
Well, see, this is just it. The powers that be, this is what's the scary thing, okay? Now, there is a push right now. I just played an audio clip for America First, which I'm in total agreement with. However, I can't help but think that any organization that is well-funded, et cetera, is being designed to be controlled opposition. And as far as, this issue about a horizontal conflict, right versus left, that's what they want. They want the liberals and the conservatives to hate on each other and to keep going. But
I love that clip. I love that clip too. On the military guy. It's like a child could figure that out. Why they move the chair? For them to say, I mean, to me, that's disadmission. For them to say, "What are you, a Zionist?" I mean, anti-Semitism. He goes, "I didn't say anything about that." I mean, it almost is just ABC folks here, like kindergarten. That's like common sense 101.
Yeah.
Because they're going, no, it wasn't me. They're like, well, I never said it was.
That's right. It's sort of like the lady doth protest too much. That's the first thing that they do is they get defensive. They get defensive, and you didn't even say anything against them.
I mean, but again, I will always leave with this. It's the freaking populace. It's us. That's the problem. How is it that you and I, and a lot of us, knew not to take the thingy dingy, and then everybody, all these populace, the majority, that's the problem. I mean, we were vilified.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but hey, sweetheart. The music is playing and it's drowning you out. I'm sorry, sweetie. It's time to go. God bless. Have a great weekend. All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for another week of off-the-wall broadcasting here from this wackadoodle talk show host. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. If you're listening on BitChute or Facebook or Rumble or whatever, click like, share, subscribe, and above all else, spread the word by word of mouth because that's the best advertising. Okay, that said, the weekend is upon us, so you guys stay safe, stay free, God bless you all, and I will see you on Monday.